Hey guys, today we get to do one of my favorite things on this channel, and that is bring you a review, feedback, and just kind of overall coverage of a small batch, American-made, husband and wife owned and operated team, and that would be BHT, and that stands for Beards, Heads, and Threads. So kind of not limiting their market, right? Being able to grow and expand upon just beard products. This is a husband and wife team, as I mentioned, Chad and Tara. I believe they're out of Kansas. Wasn't the easiest to find their location, but on their website, they had a phone number. I looked up the area code, so I believe they are out of Kansas. And they've been doing this for a little bit, and I got a chance to chat with Chad, and he wanted to make it clear, this is not just a side hobby or something he's doing for fun. This is a real deal business that they're hoping to grow and scale. So hopefully this video will help them out. I'm going to share my thoughts and experiences, but also just with my experience, give a little bit of insight and advice on some tweaks and changes to consider. Nobody ever has to listen to me, but I love to offer food for thought from a lens of just helping the companies and community grow. If that sounds like something you guys can get on board with and rock with, hit a quick thumbs up on the video. It's absolutely free. Hype the video if you're on your phone. Come on, baby. And above all, just get involved. Subscribe, comment. It is all appreciated. Shout out to those returning subscribers that keep being the backbone of this community. We got a bunch of stuff to go into today, from oil, wash, conditioner, balm, butter, liquid butter, mustache wax, solid cologne, and body wash. Come on now. And I got a hat. Hey, love me some hats, so shout out to BHT for throwing a hat in there. And we'll jump into some basics. First off, oil. Their beard oil is going to range from $21.99 to $23.99. I believe it might be based on limited editions. This one right here in my hand, if I remember correctly. Oh, not this one. It's a woodpecker. This one I know for sure was on the more expensive side, and it does say limited. So I'm not exactly sure if that's the case, but using the context clues, it seems like some oils are a little bit more. Now, that is on the expensive end of the market, of the small batch world, right? Staying under 20 is kind of common. Once you get into the 20 to 25, we're now starting to look at kind of more premium upscale type products, which is great. I love having options. Just look at the car market or the cologne market. We have every option, and I don't think options should ever be a bad thing. If it's not for you, okay, awesome. You have other options to check out. But I do think the price has to match the experience. And I do think that when you have a premium price, everything needs to be premium, from the website to the product quality, of course, to the customer service, to the labels, to the unboxing experience. And to kick it off, I do have some feedback for them. And one is the website. When I went on the website, oh, and by the way, with that price, they have a 15% pop-up on their website that you guys can sign up to save a little bit of money. I exited out of it, and then it had another pop-up about it that came up, so I exited twice. So I've already clicked twice on the website. Now, I'm not talking about that pop-up. Once that was gone, there were 5 different pop-ups on my small phone screen, and it was way too much. It was absolutely a net negative, and I would imagine for almost all consumers, but it's just not going to help the company. There were 2 different 15% pop-ups that remained on the screen after I already exited twice on the previous ones. There also was a chat option, which I'm fine with. I think that one's worthy. There was a review option for their website, and then there was an additional one that I've never even seen before, and it was a Google review option. So 2 discounts, 2 reviews, and a chat. It was just overwhelming. I know I'm not speaking for everybody, but I am talking from my place of experience and preference. I'm not a fan of those. I don't like the wheels. I don't mind a pop-up here. I don't mind a little corner graphic that I can exit out of. And the companies I work with use all versions of these. Right, I'm not saying that this is gospel. I just know I hear from a lot of you guys, and that's something that kind of turns people off. Also, with navigating, kind of rule of thumb on any e-commerce online, the more people have to scroll and or click, the less likely they are to purchase. And I do think that the purchasing path needs a little bit of work on the website. In an ideal world, for example, on the phone, it just had beard care and then everything listed. Break that down within oil, balm, butter. Have the different options within the tree on the menu. Just my advice there. And then while I'm kind of giving that feedback, and I'll have some feedback, of course, on all the products and scents, one thing that I would love to see as their next step up. It's not a problem. It's not what everybody's going to agree on. Some of you are going to say, Dan, it doesn't matter. Dan, you're wrong. Hey, you're entitled to your opinion. I would love to see the labels step up. Number one, it doesn't seem like the cleanest label printer. I don't know if it's printed at home or if they're using a local company, but there's lots and lots of bleeding on there. And again, is that going into like super minute details? Of course, but that's what I do. I love this stuff. I'm passionate. I love helping companies grow. And there is a perceived value when you get a product and the label does feel a little bit cheaper. And then when you look at the actual like quality and clarity and definition of it, you can tell that there is bleeding, that it isn't the crispiest of the labels, and that might not be a priority of theirs. That is fine, but I'm just giving that lens of the consumer that's like, hey, if I'm going to be paying in the 20s, $22, $24 for a product, I want the experience to match it. Just some consideration. And then the last thing to be careful with on here, the labels, I'm not sure if they're just using AI to create them or not. My gut instinct says yes, right? When you see a label that looks like this, it is a little bit blurry. It does have a lot of the calling cards of AI, and everybody has their own opinion on AI. I'm not a fan when it comes to labels and branding and like really purposeful things. And that's a slippery slope. I fully understand. But I don't want companies leaning into that too much. The more you use AI, the more it becomes generic. The more it looks like we've all seen companies advertising those posters that are AI, and immediately you see it, you're like, oh, that's an AI poster. I would hate for the labels to fall into that. More importantly, there's a lot of inconsistencies with the labels that could eventually have some legal issues. And I'll point out what I mean. And I do think it's AI that's taking information and then kind of making little tweaks, and then maybe they didn't think it was a big deal or didn't catch it. But for example, and we'll go over carrier blends and stuff in a bit here, this label that I have right now has the carrier blend. Let me see if I can find it. Has the carrier blend very, very small. You have tons of space to work with there. Why not use that and get bigger font? But important is the wording. And again, guys, this is just open blank space. Spread that label out. Make it a bigger font to be able to read, because I have very good vision. This is tough. It starts by saying cold pressed carrier blend and then lists the carriers. That's fine as long as every single one in here is cold pressed, which is very rare. It's almost impossible with their blend though. And the reason why I say that is they have squalene oil in here. Squalene oil is not cold pressed. It cannot be cold pressed. Essentially, it comes from a source like sugarcane or olive oil, and then the squalene is a component within it, and it is extracted, not cold pressed. But Dan, the source could be cold pressed. That is true, but that's not how the legality works. So you want to be careful on that when then there's other ones where there's no note of it. So for example, the limited edition oil, they have the ingredients scrolling down at the bottom here, the very, very bottom, no mention of cold press. Okay, that's legal, that's fine. And then we have a third type that is very common, and this one has it all listed on the front. And again, we're seeing 3 different locations for the ingredients being listed. To me, that screams AI making those. And the ingredients here say cold pressed jojoba, and then comma, argan, comma, the rest of the ingredients. This would read grammatically that the jojoba is cold pressed, but not the rest of them. So we have a cold pressed blend, we have no mention of cold press, and then we have cold pressed jojoba. And if it's not trying to say cold pressed jojoba, it should have some kind of indication that it is saying this blend is going to be cold pressed. So I know that may be way too into details for the average consumer, the average viewer. But you guys love to nerd over these details like I do, and I do think it can help the company, especially for getting into some legal categories where you're claiming something that you can't prove. We just want to avoid that. And again, I don't know if they're all cold pressed or not. Squalene is probably not though. So just very, very careful, especially if it's AI. I've had some of my favorite companies start by using things in AI, realizing it wasn't working out the best. They've adjusted and they've been better off ever since. So let's dive in. We're going to talk about the oils first. We're going to talk about the products, and then we'll get into the scents last. How about that? All right, so here is our carrier blend for the oil. We are looking, and then also, and again, I feel like some people are like, Dan, you're beating a dead horse. There is a difference in the order of ingredients between the two oils that I'm about to read. The order matters unless they are exactly tied for potency. If you have 4 oils and they are 25% each, you can put them in any order you would like. If not, it needs to be listed by potency. The most potent oil should be first. And so I don't know if the blend is different between these two or if it's all equal and the order doesn't matter. It's just not something that is common that we usually see. I will read this one here, and it's the same ingredients, just different order depending on the oil you read. We have jojoba, sweet almond, argan, squalene, avocado, meadow foam, castor, marula, and then essential and or fragrance oils. One thing that I do have a lot of respect for is they have the batch number on there, which is great. That helps out, especially the company. If somebody says, hey man, my oil went bad, they're like, oh, what's the batch number? Then they go check the tester that they have saved, and they can figure out if it was a real problem, if it was a one-off problem, or if it's, sometimes there are some nefarious actors when people are trying to get money out of companies. So I love that. It is a medium/medium thick viscosity. I wouldn't go full medium thick. It's more closer to medium, but it's a really good blend. My beard styles well. My beard feels great. I have 0 issues with this blend. High quality, gets the job done. It's not like revolutionary or something different, but it's beard oil. You don't need to be different. You need it to work well. You need it to help the beard. You need it to style well. You need it to carry a scent in the way that you want. Really good carrier blend right there. Okay, so that's the oil, and then we'll just kind of continue on from there. They do have a butter, and the butter has shea butter, mango butter, and then the oil blend. And so 2 commonly used ones. This is more of a kind of full body butter. It's not a full bodied butter. It's not a super light or super thin butter, but it's also not like real waxy or anything like that. And there's no beeswax in here. So it will melt down in your hand. It does offer a little bit of styling and hold, just something to consider. I really enjoy it. In my perfect world, it would be a little bit lighter of a butter and easier to melt down and get in the beard, but that's just a personal preference. Their balm is fantastic for what a balm should be. It is a firm balm. Balms, in my opinion, should be firm. Butter should be light and nourishing and not offer a ton of holding and style, maybe a little bit on flyaways. Balm should be made to style while being a healthy delivery agent. And their balm is nice and firm. I wore it one day. I test everything thoroughly. Balm I try to only use for one day. Same with mustache wax. Really good mustache wax, and many of your fan favorites, it's in that chapstick tube. So even if you just want to apply a little bit right on the spot to lock it in, my favorite delivery method for mustache wax right there. And then the solid cologne, they got one of these little slidey guys here. I'm not the biggest cologne guy in the world, so it's not exactly for me, but they have that option for you. If you want to know how to use this, you just open it up, rub your finger over it. You're not scooping it. You're not picking it out. Just rubbing your finger over it so it kind of melts it down. Put it on your neck, behind your ears. You can put it on your wrist. You can put it at any of those pulse points where you really want to get that cologne going. So super cool there. Also, liquid butter. And so this one, and this is their unscented blank slate liquid beard butter. This is a complicated one, but I have to tell you about the real experience. So in this liquid butter, they have shea butter, mango butter, jojoba, sweet almond, and then the oil blend. I'm not sure what they're doing to those butters, right? To have shea butter in here, I would assume it needed to have the long chain fatty acids removed and make it shea nut oil or shaolin oil. Same with mango butter. Mango butter is very sticky. Very hard. If you ever buy, I don't know, this is crazy, but you ever order a block of mango butter, it's solid. It is hard. I'm not sure how you get this in liquid form, but the main challenge that I have, and I'm going to do my best to show it on here, you guys, is that it did solidify. Yep, you can see it there. It did solidify down at the bottom, and I'll kind of show you guys up top. And we do have actual real crystals, and it does go through to the dropper as well. It's got that sriracha top. So when I put it in my hand, I do have crystals. It's not like butter that has the grit that will melt down. They are solid. And essentially what I had to do was when I used it, I tried to get the best I could. I had to wipe it on my sides to get those crystals off. Now, we know that solidification happens like this in normal butter when it melts and then re-solidifies too slowly because those long-chain fatty acids find each other and they clump up. Like shea butter has, I believe off the top of my head, 9 different long-chain fatty acids. I think I've said that 4 times. Drink! And when they cool, they have different cooling points. A liquid butter is supposed to be the exception to that. Liquid butter is supposed to be for the summer when you don't need to worry about melting and solidifying in grit. Unfortunately, to me, in its current state, this is not a usable product. I don't know how I could use this with those crystals in there, and I don't know if this is a common problem they've had or not, but it's just not a product that I could recommend right now. All right, and then we have beard wash and beard conditioner. Good, solid beard wash and conditioner. They are your normal small batch beard wash and conditioners. I'm assuming they work with the supplier, then add their fragrances. If they have the fragrances, I have blank slate, so it is just unscented. Solid. They get the job done. They're not the best. They're not the worst. They get the job done really well. And then the body wash, these ones, actually my wife and I both tried them. They're not for us, unfortunately. The scent is very, very strong on these. Like very, very, very strong. That's just not our personal preference. And I was cool with the performance. My wife, Sam, said it left like a film behind that she was not a fan of. I did not experience that, but I had to share on there. Very strong scented body wash that did linger after the wash for me. So if that's something that you're like, hey, Dan, you're crazy. That's what I'm looking for. Boom, literally check them out. Okay. Oils here, again, perform fantastic. Let's talk about the scents. So the first one is Woody Oud Pecker. Great name. Fantastic name. And our scent profile on this one is warm, I always mess up this pronunciation, Guiwak, that's terrible, Danny, I butchered that. Wood, oud for character, and then cedar for clarity. Okay, so 3 different kinds of wooded scents. And oud is from the agar tree. It is a sap that comes from that tree. Manly, like kind of the muskiness in a lot of colognes. And this is a manly, woody cologne, very strong. Most of these scents are very, very strong. As most of you know, that doesn't fit my preference. I'm more of an essential oil guy, a lighter scent guy that'll fade and dissipate. I don't mind a fragrance oil, especially a good date night cologne. Sam does not like this one. So this one is not in the books for us. I can't really wear strong wood scents or woodsy scents, especially a woodsy cologne. But if you like strong scents and you like woodsy colognes, I promise you, this is going to be one that speaks to you. It is strong. As long as it's within the legality of IFRA, it shouldn't be a problem. It's impossible to know, but very, very strong scented oil. All right, the next one up is Clean Cut. And again, it does seem like it's that AI label being so vastly different from the other ones, but I could be wrong. That's what I believe it looks like. All right, and then Clean Cut is inspired by YSL MYSLF. I don't know what that is. But it's a fresh, clean woody, and this is bergamot, orange blossom. We have in here cedarwood, patchouli, and musk, and there's a bunch of other really tiny, tiny text on that. Yeah, it's a good, bright, aggressive cologne. Strong, bright cologne. I like that one. It's just very, very strong. All right, the next one up is Summer Static. I do have that in the balm as well. So I wore those as a matching day, and it is in the body wash as well. And on this one, it is citrus, green tea, and lemongrass. Really enjoyable. I get green tea first and foremost in it, in beard, on body as it goes throughout the day. And then also you get the citrus for brightness. I don't get a lot of lemongrass. I know it's in there, and I know it's part of it. I am usually really against lemongrass. The last couple of years, it's bothered me. I don't have any issues with this. Very strong, but I do like this scent the most so far by far. All right, the next one up is Union Reserve. Candied chestnut, vanilla, cardamom. That's the mother of Cardi B, by the way, in case you're curious. And it says, our version of Stronger With You. And I think a lot of these are referring to colognes. I'm not a cologne guy, so I don't get the references as always. And I know you guys are like, Dan, it's this one. I just don't wear colognes like that. Yeah. Aggressive, cologne, manly, burn your nostrils. I get the candied chestnut. I almost get like a smokiness out of this one. Very strong, very like that darker type scent. If you have the opposite scent profile preference of me, that one's probably gonna be a hit for you. This company definitely has a style to their scents, an approach to their scents, and I know they have a passionate community, so it's working. I know a lot of people are liking them. All right, the next one is Amberwood Reserve. Amberwood Reserve, and this is bergamot, wood, and amber musk. And if you guys don't know, amber is one of the most common ingredients in scents for beard products because it's a great middle note, great bonding note, bringing those lighter top notes and then the base note together. Yeah, this one's very nice. This is a very smooth, not as aggressive as the other colognes, very smooth, very daily, very wonderful. I enjoy this one a lot. Bergamot, wood, and amber musk. Amberwood Reserve is my most used till this day. And it's the most gone in here. All right, next one up is Iron Haven. Okay, Iron Haven, and this is mahogany and teak wood. Yep. Yes, if you know those scents, that's what this one is. It is more on, again, your kind of woodsy, manly cologne. It's not a woody scent or a woodsy scent. It is a cologne through and through. This company leans heavily into the cologne world. Blue Suede Ember. Blue Suede Ember. And this one is luxury smooth cologne. Okay, those are the only notes. Warm, woody, sweet. Yep, it's another cologne scent, guys. I wish I had the comps. I feel like these are inspired or dupes off of other ones, and I'd be like, oh, I just don't know that world. It is. It's warm, woody, and sweet cologne. Yep, straight up, warm, woody, sweet cologne. And then the last one I have, you guys, is Amber Trail. All right. An Amber Trail, oh man, and they have so much room on this label, and the font is so tiny. Like when you see up by the logo here, it's just open space all day, and then try to read that. And even on the back here, better, but man, it's brutal to read some of these ones. And so we are looking at tobacco, amber, and spice. And again, guys, this is teeny tiny. It's right above the blue. Crazy. Okay, tobacco, amber, and spice. Yeah, if you're a tobacco fan, this might be the strongest scent that they offer. I'm not a tobacco guy, so I don't enjoy this one. It is a strong tobacco scent. Strong tobacco scent. So if you have a preference like mine, you guys, Amberwood Reserve is going to be a good one for you. If you're a cologne fan, they have a lot of options for you. If you like really strong, long-lasting scents on the fragrance side, they've got you covered. I'll be very curious to see if they expand more into lighter scents or essential oil scents or where this company goes in the future. But I think that's everything I have today. I think I covered all the products, gave all the feedback here, and I really believe this owner cares. I truly believe he's going to take this from the good intentions that it has. And I think when we check back in 3, 6, 9 months from now, there are going to be some new options and some new lanes. If not, hey, keep building your thing, keep growing that community, doing it with passion, doing it the right way. Nothing but love and respect. Down below, you guys, have you tried this company? I would love to hear from your experiences. Do you have questions for them? Do you have feedback for them? Do you have questions for me? I would love to be able to get involved on every single one of your comments. Thank you guys for watching today. Dan C. Bearded. Please stay bearded and stay positive.